Hello everyone, welcome to the 8th lecture on embedded systems. Okay, so in the previous lecture we studied about the input output subsystems. Okay, we studied about the 7 segment display, we studied about the LED sensors, actuators. Okay, so before directly telling you about the input output subsystems, I just want to give you examples about what are the input devices which we can connect to the embedded board and what are the output devices which we can connect. So input devices are push button switches, keypad, keyboard, and your temperature sensors like LM35. These are the devices which you can connect to the input. And the output devices are LED, LCD. LED is a light emitting diode, LCD is a liquid crystal display, piezo buzzer. These are the output devices which you can connect. So these are the examples. Now all these are obviously interface to embedded board. Now there are two approaches to design any embedded systems. The first approach is a system on chip, and second approach is the circuits on board. What do you mean by system on chip? We will see what is a system on chip. System on chip is a system on the VLSI chip, on a single VLSI chip. VLSI chip consists of millions or billions of transistors. And what does system on chip means? Means it contains all the processors, software, analog circuitry, digital circuitry on a single VLSI chip. Okay, so that is system on chip. Your camera, mobile phone, then your set-top boxes, TV, LCD TV, and your PC, personal computer, tablets. These are the examples of systems using system on chip. Now system on chip takes larger amount of design efforts than the circuits on board. Now why it is the case? Because system on chip are very compact, okay, first of all, and everything is miniaturized. It is the whole system is on a single chip, so obviously it will take more efforts, right? And circuit on boards, what do you mean by circuit on boards? All the processors, ASIC, and your single purpose processor, these processor and their peripherals, they are interfaced on the circuit board, that is a circuit on board. So there are two approaches to design the embedded system. First is a system on chip, second is a circuit on board. So for best example of system on chip is your mobile phone. Your mobile phone comes under the category of a complex embedded systems. You can perform various tasks using your mobile phone. You can call anyone, you can receive, you can play songs, you can upload various apps. Then there are various other tasks which you do with your mobile phones. Okay, so it is having various tasks. Okay, so obviously it will be complex. It will require a lot of processors to include a lot of applications in a one system. Okay, now the various processors which are included inside your mobile phone are communication processor for 2G or 3G communication. Then we have a single purpose processor for keyboard interface, an application specific instruction processor for video, image, and audio processing. Okay, then we have application specific integrated circuit for dialing numbers, storing data in the memory, retrieving data from the memory, keyboard interface. Okay, and then we have 1.5 gigahertz general purpose processor, dual core processor inside your mobile phone, right? So there are a lot of processors, analog digital circuitry inside your mobile phone. It requires the large amount of circuitry. Now the biggest challenge is how we will make a system compact and include the all these processors inside of one system. The solution to this is the VLSI. Yes, exactly, or system on chip, so that you can include large amount of your processors on a single chip. Okay, now we will see the next part of the input output subsystems. Okay, now first we will see what is optocoupler, then we will see what is a stepper motor. Now optocoupler is a solid state device. It is used to isolate the two parts of circuit. Okay, and here you can see this microcontroller is acting as a core, and there is an optocoupler at the input side and there is an optocoupler at the output side. Optocoupler consists of the light emitting diode and a phototransistor enclosed in a single package, and it is used to isolate input circuit with the core or output circuit with the core. It is used to isolate. So in electronic circuits, when they are used in a communication application to reduce the interference in the communication, we are using this optocoupler. Okay, it is also used to provide isolation between the two circuits. Okay, now you can see this is the 8051 microcontroller and two optocouplers providing isolation with the two circuits. So one circuit is at the input side and one is at the output side. So to provide isolation, we have this optocoupler. Okay, and the IC which is used for optocoupler is IC MCT2N IC from Fairchild Semiconductors. Okay, and now we will see about the stepper motor. Now, what is a stepper motor and what is the difference between the stepper motor and a DC motor? Now, here stepper motor is an electromechanical device which produces the discrete displacement when DC voltage is applied to it. I repeat, it produces the discrete displacement. Now, difference between stepper motor and DC motor: when DC voltage is applied to DC motor, it provides continuous rotation, whereas when DC voltage applied to stepper motor, it provides discrete displacements. Okay, a discrete displacement means it is rotating for a few seconds according to your program, and then it stops rotating, again it starts rotating, means there are pauses in between the rotations. Okay, so that is the discrete displacement. Okay, now there are two types of stepper motors: unipolar stepper motor and bipolar stepper motor, depending on the arrangement of windings on the phase. Now this is the phase 1 or this is the phase 2, or you can say different also. This can be a phase 1 or this can be a phase 2, vice versa. Now here one phase is having two windings. Here again one phase is having two windings. So in this case it is called as a three-phase unipolar stepper motor. Okay, it is having total two windings per phase, right? And bipolar stepper motor is having only one winding per phase. So that is the basic difference between the unipolar stepper motor and a bipolar stepper motor. Now stepper motor can move in the clockwise direction or it can move in the anti-clockwise direction. Direction of rotation of a stepper motor depends on the direction of a current which flows through the windings of stepper motor. And you can see the windings of stepper motor in this case are A, C, B and D. These are the windings of stepper motor. The current flowing through the winding A is opposite in direction with the current flowing through winding C, and here same is the case. Current flowing through winding B is opposite to the direction of a current flowing through winding D. Directions are opposite, and here when current is flowing through winding A, here the current is not flowing through winding C. It is a stationary, and when the current is flowing through winding C, current through winding A is not present. It is a stationary. So at a time only one winding is conducting the current. Okay, just have to remember that. And same is the case with this case. So in this way, when you reverse the direction of current, the direction of rotation of stepper motor is also changes. Now how do we reverse the direction of current? We interchange the terminals of the stepper motor. For example, terminal which is connected to winding A is connected to winding C, and terminal which is connected to winding C is connected to winding A, and vice versa. So in this way, if we interchange the terminal, we can change the direction of a current which flows through the motor. Okay, and then we can control the direction of stepper motor as anti-clockwise or clockwise. Okay, and now your bipolar stepper motor is same case of unipolar, except the winding structure is different. And when you want to reverse the direction of current, again there is the same thing. You have to inverse the direction of current which flows through winding, and for that complex circuitry is required in bipolar stepper motor. I hope you have understood this part. If you have any doubts, you can ask me on the comment section below. I hope you have understood this. Thank you for watching.